Oh, I love coffee. Hey guys, Cam here from today's iPhone.com, and as usual, a screen full of your questions. At least this document here, the one I'm tapping on that's not doing anything, is the one with all your questions on, and I'll be getting to those right away. First question. If you had the money for only one device, would you buy the iPhone 5 or an iPad 4? Keep up the great work! Thanks! If I had money for only one device, I would probably go with iPad 4 or iPhone 5. It's a tough question. I've got the iPad and the iPhone. I'm not sure which one I could do without. I'm just going to go with the iPhone 5 because it's awesome. What do you think the world would be like without Apple? That's a very tough question, and I think, unless you actually know Apple's history, you don't quite know exactly how bad the world would be without Apple. I mean, if you think they brought the mouse into the mainstream PC industry, they brought graphical user interfaces, they brought the iPhone in, which obviously changed the shape of smartphones. If Apple didn't exist, Steve Jobs wouldn't have got sacked from Apple, and he wouldn't have gone to Pixar, and they wouldn't have been saved from death. And we would not have Toy Story, or even, to some extent, DreamWorks wouldn't even exist because they were set up out of rivalry with Pixar to make Shrek. So none of the great animated movies would exist, no great computers would be here, smartphones would all have buttons on them. It would be a rubbish world, would you not? Do you not think? Would you not? I'm tired. When will there be a jailbreak for the iPad 4? I don't know, but I have heard it's coming very soon. Stay tuned. There is one apparently working, but it's just a rumour for now. You never had Cheetos! You're gonna have to come to the US! And I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't even know what this accent is. No, I've never had Cheetos. They're just cheesy crisps. I'm sure I've had cheesy crisps before. They just happen to be in the shape of a cheetah or something. I don't know. What's your top 5 most played on your iTunes? I will find out right now. Okay, so in number 1 place I've got Dig by Incubus. Number 2 is Lost by Coldplay. Number 3 is July by Natty. Number 5 is Cemeteries of London by Coldplay. And number 6, I've lost count. The next one is another Natty song. It says so there. Next question. If right now you were to go out and buy an Android device, which one would it be and why? Probably the Nexus 4, just because it's so cheap, although I'd have to wait about 3 months for delivery. What city do you live in? I live in Carlisle. You can see out my window, I've got some British trees and stuff. That means I'm in Carlisle, because it's not a city, but it is, if you see what I mean. It's kind of rural, it's in the middle of nowhere, right near the border of Scotland. So nobody really knows how to get here or where it is unless you actually live here, which is kind of awesome. You're like a chubby Jack Whitehall. Thanks. So, is Daniel really gone? I liked him. Who is still left? Sadly, yes, Daniel is no longer on this YouTube channel, or with today's iPhone. It's just me, Jake and Matt from now on. Matt does jailbreaking, Jake does the daily news roundup, and I tend to do a lot of accessories, and obviously quiz cam, maybe some apps every now and then as well. Are you becoming bored with iOS, and what would you like to see a redesign in iOS 7? I think I am a little. Obviously I work with iOS every single day of my life. It's my job, I have to write about it, I have to make videos about it. So sometimes it can get a little bit boring, and if you've had it for as long as I have, I've had every version of the iPhone going. So it's sad to see that it hasn't changed as much as I would like, but I'm hoping now with Johnny Ive in charge that that's going to change and he's going to do something different. I don't know if the basic user interface is going to change at all, but it would be nice to see things like notifications, pop-up menus and things like that change, just to make it a little bit more polished, make it look a bit more like it's a competitor and not just a bit of a toy. Do you think the next iPhone, preferably the iPhone 5S, will be minor improved over the iPhone 5? I think in terms of hardware, obviously the design's going to look very, very similar, but I think the internals will be obviously a lot souped up, so it'll be like a souped up iPhone 5. Sorry, phone going off there. Battery's dying, quick, get this one in. Software will be massively different, hopefully. So I've got to go now because my camera battery is dying. But if you want to ask me any questions, ask me on Twitter at @TIP_cam and use the hashtag #QuizCam. I've got a question to ask you before I leave though. If you only had money to buy one Apple device, what would you buy? I'll see you again soon at @TIP_cam on Twitter.